Hello, this is the Just Because Buzz, Thread Tales number 3, my version of FlossTube. I'm Merritt Crawford, and thank you for joining me. It's been such a fun thing to get prepared for this particular video, and I'm excited to share with you some of the things that I've prepared. I do want to say some thank yous. I want to thank Situation Normal. Kathleen gave me a shout out. That was so sweet, and I really appreciate it, Kathleen. Thank you. I love watching her videos, and I always get a smile and just enjoy her projects, and just a fun video every time. And then Stitching in the Light, Cynthia Brew gave me a shout out. Thank you, Cynthia. Such a sweet spirit and just such beautiful, beautiful projects and a variety of things, kind of like what I like too. So that was really sweet. Thank you, Cynthia. And then finally, Michelle with Creative Mayhem. Michelle is a new floss tuber, but not new to video on YouTube. She has some other things that she's interested in, and so really want to thank her because she's brand new to FlossTube and was already giving me a shout out too. So thank you, Michelle. She's also lives in Ohio, so that's a neat thing, and maybe one day we'll get to meet up in the craft gallery down in Findlay. I'd really like to do that. I want to give some shout outs of videos that I've been enjoying this week. There's so many out there that I feel like I'm kind of behind the 8 ball when I name these folks, because people are going to say, yeah, I've been watching them for a long time. But anyway, the Black Ribbon Studio, Denise, I really enjoy her. She's fun and just lots of energy and just fun projects. Loves Christmas, so it's fun to see what she's always planning for that. Has a birthday this month. Happy birthday, Denise. And then Stitching by the Lake, Marlene. She's been doing FlossTube for a long time and really enjoyed her video. She just posted a fairly new one recently. Just Keep Stitching. You all know Pam and Steph, and they're a lot of fun. And really have enjoyed watching their videos lately. And then a new YouTube person is Jean Farris, and she is a designer and needleworker. And I really have enjoyed watching her 2 videos that she's posted so far. And the other day I was flipping through some of my books and I realized I had one of her books. And I was so excited. This is one of her books, Alphabet Treasury. And this is actually the second in a series. I think she said she has 3. So this was really fun to make this discovery that I had one of her books in my collection. And she's just been on FlossTube for 2 episodes now, so that was fun. So I want to get right into my projects. I want to first I wanted to share with you some Stitchy saves or rescues, whatever you might would call it. Had an opportunity to go to an estate sale last week, and I'm going to share some other finds there later on in my video, but I wanted to share some Stitchy finds with you. Walked into the house when we were allowed in, and the first thing I picked up was a Stitchy project. So I want to share that with you. And it was this project. This is, appears to me to be a store sample. One of the reasons I say that is because it's not signed or dated, which that doesn't always mean it's would be a store sample, but on the back it has an actual printing of like a stamp, and it is A Season and a Time by Sunset Designs, 1982. So that made me think maybe it was a store sample, but anyway, I thought this was such a treasure and I was so excited to pick it up. It was like the first thing I picked up, and it wasn't something that was on my radar because I had not seen it in any of the pictures that had been posted prior to the sale. So I just love this. I love the colors, and the stitching is so beautiful. I love the verse, of course, and the colors. There's cute little the corn silks are you know, just floss there, and then there's lots of French knots, and I just loved it. Thought it was such a great find and a great save. So that was one of them. The other one that I found was down in the basement, and it's a Christmas one, and I just thought it was so charming. I don't know much about this one other than the initials that are on it. The initials say CMZ, and the date on it is 1984. I tried looking up the pattern, seeing if I could find something just by using words in the verse or the horse in the sleigh or children in the sleigh, and didn't really have much luck finding anything that looked like this pattern. I will say on the Seasons one, I found a someone on eBay that is trying to sell a kit for the Seasons one. So I did find that one. All right, so now I'm going to share with you some old FFOs. These are things that are fully finished cross-stitch pieces that I wanted to share with you. And the first one, I don't have my pattern with me. I'm not even sure if I still have the pattern or if I've given it away. But it is Lizzie Kate Summer ABCs. And I finished it off as a little journal quilt. If you have ever been in the quilting, there used to be, and there may still be folks that do it, but kind of like a journal quilt. It kind of tells a story a little bit. And anyway, that's how I finished it off. I even put a sleeve on the back so that I could hang it on my washstand during the patriotic months, May and June and July. So that's one of my favorites, a Lizzie Kate. And I used, pretty sure it kind of looks like an even weave, not sure as far as the fabric. The thread is going to be all called for DMC. That was that one. And then the other two items that I want to show you that are fully finished from old projects. I used to really enjoy doing bread cloths, and I still do. I haven't made one in a while, but I just think they're just a fun and quick gift, and I really enjoyed making some from this book. And this is a Leisure Arts publication. And the first one that I'm going to show you is the sunflower. And so I just loved that. I thought it was so pretty. And whenever I use it, I line the basket with a different napkin so these bread cloths stay fairly clean and neat and don't get butter on them or something like that. But that's one of my favorite pieces I've done. And then the other one, of course, it involves bees. So here's the beehive and the clover. I love that. So those are fun and great gifts to give. And I've made many a bread cloth. Okay. So now I want to move into old projects that need to be fully finished. And I have quite a few of those. I noticed somebody on Instagram today said they were working through their stack of projects that needed to be fully finished and hope to finish them all by the end of the year. So the first one that I wanted to show you is a Mill Hill kit. This is Spring Series number 5. It was a 1997 kit, and just pretty bee. It was made to be stitched on perforated paper, but I decided to stitch it on linen, and my linen is a 28 count linen. So, and I will probably frame this or have it framed. It's one of my favorite pieces. It's got some specialty stitches in it, and then of course all that beading. There's certain instructions to get those beads on there. And then the pretty buttons. I enjoyed that one. That's fun. And then the other one that's fully finished, or finished that needs to be fully finished, is a Lizzie Kate. And this is a Flip It April and a 32 count linen. And I used the call for DMC for this one. It has a little charm. So it's been completed for a long time and just need to get it finished. Okay. So recent fully finished items, I have been able to complete 2. So I wanted to share those with you. I recently showed you the beehive piece that I had finished, and I decided to make it into a pincushion. So I put some interfacing on the back of the cross stitch piece, and then I chose some hand-dyed wool to be the back. The green matches the green stitching on the front. And then I filled it with the walnut shells, the crushed walnut shells, or lizard litter that you can get at a pet store, and put this little bow on it, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. And again, this is the Beehive by Elizabeth's Designs. And then another finish. This one is a pattern by Cedar Hill. I can't show you the other side of the card because it has the chart on it, but I'll show you the piece, obviously. And so I finished this as a little door hanger. It is a baby sleeping with 2 sheep, and it finished it as a door hanger for a friend of mine. And it looks like it's on a 30 count linen. It's a blush kind of color, real pale pink. And I chose this real sweet quilting cotton for the back. And the organza bow for the hanger. And just attached them at the corners. So sweet. Love those sheep. So those are my fully finished projects that I recently finished. So I was excited about that. I do have some new projects that are ready for being fully finished. I've shared with you about my Noel Naturals. These are the 11 natural nature's gifts, I guess, that we have at Christmas time and in the winter time. And so I've shared with you a few of the ones that I've already finished. So I'll share with you those again, and then the newest one. So let me get I'm going to put these on a board so you can see them better. So, all right, so the first one is the juniper. And then the next one is the bittersweet. And then the Christmas rose. And then the one I just finished would be the cranberries. And so, still trying to decide how I'll finish these. I do like how they finished them in the magazine. This was for the Love of Cross Stitch magazine, and it was January of 1999. I like how they finished them as ornaments, but I also had an idea this week about maybe finishing them in a Christmas banner some way, using some pretty fabric and doing a banner somehow. I think that would be pretty too. So I'll get them all stitched and we'll see where we'll go from there. But I'll show them to you one more time. These are the 4 that I have completed. Lots of back stitching in there. I know there's some folks that aren't crazy about back stitching, but these have a lot. Once you get finished, almost as much back stitching as you do the cross stitching. So, but I feel like it really helps with the detail. And then the other recent finish that I need to fully finish, this is Quilty Stitches Sampler, and it was put out by Corey Yoder of Coriander Quilts. And I did my own color conversion for this, and it was a free pattern on her blog. And so I kind of did mine in a kind of some country colors. And really enjoyed working on this. I have an idea how I might finish it. Kind of going along with the barn quilt idea. and maybe using some old barn wood to mount it on. So we'll see. But I love seeing barn quilts as I drive through the countryside, and I kind of thought this might be a fun way to finish it. So that one, and I did put it as a finish, as a 2020 finish, so at least I'll have one item that's completely finished in 2020, as far as a big item anyway. Alright, so those two are ready to be fully finished. Next I'm going to move into my whips, and I did work on my alphabet treasures. This is something I've been working on for over 20 years, and what I was able to work on this week was the bunny on the Y. I added the beading to that bunny, and I am to the point on this piece. I have added everything I have as far as the treasures and the beads. So I'm to the point where now I have to purchase the rest of my supplies to finish this piece. So there's some treasures I need to buy, some beads I need to purchase. I have all the buttons. I have a button that goes in the bunny on the Y, and there's a button that goes on the V, and a button that goes on the T. And then the rest are charms and beads that I need to add. And then I'll have to change my 2000 to 2020 because I'm determined to get it done this year. So I'm to the point where now I'm going to have to set this aside, and when I get all my supplies in, I can start on it again. So another whip I decided to pull out, since that one's going to be kind of on the back burner for a little bit, is one I've been working on for probably 20 years. I'm embarrassed to say, but this is called Berry Sweet. This is a Laurie, Birmingham design. And really the only thing I need to finish on this one is I need to add the little gold bees that are flying around, and put the button on, and then I will add the scroll pieces here at the bottom and have it ready to hang. So I'll show you that. So such a cute little piece. Just need to finish it. And I used all the called for on this piece. Let's see if I can tell you without making too much noise what they recommended. Let's see. It's a natural / white linen 28 count banding. I used and then it comes with 2 walnut bell pull rods. And then I used the call for floss. It was a kit. So, but again, that was a natural / white linen 28 count banding. I'm not sure if that's still available since this kit is so old. But I do have the pieces to hang it with. And then I'm just needing to add my buttons and my charms, my bee charms. So I could probably finish that this week and have a fully finished to show you next time. So pretty excited about that one. And then the other work in progress goes along with the Noel Naturals, and I'm working on the pine. So it is pretty close. It has a lot of back stitching in it, especially in the pine cone part. There's a lot of back stitching, but I still have some work to do up here in the pine boughs, and then the pine cone has a lot of back stitching. So, and the next one on in that series is going to be the poinsettia. So I'm excited about getting to something with a lot of color. It'll be fun. All right, and then I'm going to give you a little tour around my Farm Girl Vintage wall and show you what's up with it. I now have 82 blocks made, plus my Farm Girl words are made. So at this point, with my Farm Girl Vintage Quilt that I'm making with my friend down in Alabama that we FaceTime together, I lack 6 more blocks to make, the 6.5-inch blocks to make, and then I'm going to make a Farm Girl that's part of a supplemental pattern that Laurie had put out, and so I have her to make. She's all cut out and ready to go, but I want to swing this around so you can see the wall. So you can see I've added the Farm Girl, and the ones on the left side of the Farm Girl are the most recent blocks that are completed. So it's coming along. Won't be long and we'll be cutting, sashing, and starting to piece it together. I have my big graph paper of all the blocks and the sashing, and I'm going to choose where I'm going to put what, and so I'll have to lay it out, find the space to lay it out, and I'm excited to get it into one piece. It'll be fun. So that's my Farm Girl. Haven't been doing a lot of other quilting right now. I did come across a pattern yesterday, cross stitch pattern, that I thought was beautiful. So it could be in the works of something I'd like to work on. I found it in a cross stitch magazine, A Better Homes and Gardens, from August of '92, and it's this sunflower sampler, and it says "Be ye thankful," and I thought it was so beautiful. And I do have a piece of linen that could work for it, and I pulled the colors, and I'm thinking about it. We'll see. So that's kind of on my radar. And the other exciting thing, I do have some things in the works with some wool appliqué, but I'm not quite ready to share about that. I'm working on a pattern, and I sent the pattern to some pattern testers for me, and so I hope to share that the next video and have a pattern to show you. That will be a first for me, a first publication. So I'm hoping I'll get all that together by the next video and be able to show you. I had an adventure out in Grand Rapids, Ohio. I went to a wool natural fiber and yarn shop and worked with their needle felting machine, and got to take some wool and felt it, and to my liking and to the thickness that I wanted and the colors that I wanted. And so I look forward to sharing with you that in the future. But I want to get the pattern all settled and show you my samples and that kind of thing when everything's finished. So that's coming. So now I'll move into my haul. So my daughter and I attended an estate sale last week, and we just had a really fun time. We were able to look at pictures online and kind of had a plan of what we were looking for, what we were wanting to see, if it was still available by the time we were allowed to go in the house and go in the barn and the tent. It was a big estate sale. And so I had my eye on a couple of things from my friend who I FaceTime with the Farm Girl Vintage. She likes to collect the toy sewing machines. And so she had spotted a couple of machines in pictures, and, I was going to check them out and see if I could find them and see if they would still be available by the time I was allowed to go into the house. And then my daughter was looking for a chest of drawers. There was also a church pew there, and that I was interested in, and a couple of little other items. But as I mentioned earlier in my Stitchy save, that was the first thing I picked up, was the Seasons cross stitch piece. And then we went upstairs and found the chest of drawers for my daughter, and I found the church pew, and so we decided to get those items. And then we were on the search for some of these other little items. And so the first thing that I was able to find was this cute little pink toy sewing machine. Is that not the cutest thing? I just love it. And it's got this little crank on it. So cute. Really enjoyed finding that for my friend. And then the other sewing machine that I found for her, this was out in the barn, and I wasn't sure I was going to be able to find it for her or not. But it's a Betsy Ross, and it's got a cord, a power cord, and I mean a needle and thread, and I haven't plugged it in for her yet, but anyway, I just thought it's so cute. It's got the case, I've got the lid for it, and just thought it was adorable. I was able to get that for her. And then while I was talking to her about this one, because I called her before I bought it, because she was the one buying these machines, I found this little tiny machine just sitting on the table where the Betsy Ross was. So I picked this up for her. I thought it was so cute. At first I thought it was a pencil sharpener because it has a hole in the bottom, but I don't think it is because I can't find the blade in there, and I'm not really wanting to stick my finger in there to see. But this little crank also moves, so I thought that was cool. So little treasures. And then my friend was able to spot some wooden needle cases. I've never purchased a wooden needle case, but this is one she found. She said, I see that in a picture in the tent. So she said, you might want to check it out. So it's just this little wooden case. It has the number on the end. And then there's some old needles in there. So those are kind of unique, apparently. I bought one of those. I found this card of buttons. There were button tins, several pictures that had button tins in them, but by the time I got to the tent and found them, they had taken the buttons out of the tins and put them in Ziploc bags. And it just kind of took the nostalgia out of finding an old Stitcher's button jar or button tin. It just didn't seem as fun anymore. And I didn't purchase them, even though I was interested in them initially. I found this cute little milk glass. I think it's considered milk glass. It's not one that has the little knobs on it, but it did have the cutouts, and so that's kind of a neat thing for stitchers, and you can put your little scissors in there. And so for $1, I thought I can enjoy that. I thought it was fun. It does have some embossing on it. Very cute. And then one other item that I found was this little, it's just a simple ice cream or a sundae glass, but it would make a really cute pincushion holder. So I thought that would be fun. I have a larger one with a wool pin keep in it, and thought that would be fun for a smaller. And then the final item that I brought up here to show you was this little planter. I thought this would be fun. It was also $1. You could put herbs in it, or you could put some other things in it, and even hang a cute little cross stitch piece here for spring or even fall. So I thought this was really cute. So we had a good time at the estate sale. It was something different to do, and we really enjoyed ourselves. Just could be addicting, but try not to be, because there's so many sales in my area, so have to be careful about going to too many, because you could really get so much stuff you could have a sale yourself. I did get an old sled too. I didn't bring it up here, but I got an old sled to decorate my front porch at Christmas in the wintertime. Found one of those. So a lot of the things that were on my list that I was interested in, I was able to get. There were two featherweight sewing machines pictured in the bottom of a closet. And by the time I got up to the closet, they weren't there. But then when I inquired about them, they had been moved to the tent. And the tent had more of the precious things in it that needed to be monitored. And I inquired about whether they were still there or not, and they had been purchased. So I did not get to see the featherweights. But anyway, all in all, it was a really fun day, and it was a good day. So thank you for coming and sitting with me and listening to my ramblings about estate sale and sharing with me about my projects and my progress. I really have enjoyed this community and think that it's just been a fun experience to share what I've been working on and see what all you've been working on. And I'd like to leave you with an encouraging word from someone probably you all know. Miss Dolly Parton said, "If you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours." I hope you have a great day. Bye.